welcome back to another video. This is your girl Ashley, or as Sean likes to call me, Queen Ash, and I'm coming at you guys with another story time. Since you guys have enjoyed them so much, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so that you guys always know when we're gonna post. We do post every Tuesday, couple videos, but these story times do come at you all random. So we are going to be doing a story time about another guy. So this is gonna be another video in the Running Through the Bum series. This guy is a little bit recent, one of the guys I was talking to before Sean. So this one again makes me a little bit anxious because I think he also follows me on social media still. So yeah, let's get started, and I hope you guys will enjoy this story time about the time I dated somebody. Obviously, I'm not gonna say his real name. We're gonna go with Edgar. We're gonna call him Edgar. I don't even think I've ever known anybody named Edgar, but yeah, we're gonna call him Edgar. So, when I was working at a bar here in New York City, you guys want some stories about my time working in this dive bar, which it's gross, dirty, bad, everything. Let me know. I have a million stories about that place. And at the time, they had only, they had this unspoken thing where it's like they always hired women for the front of house and men for the back of the house. So that meant like no male bartenders, no male servers, no male hosts. The only male people there were like security guards. That's probably the only people you would see in the front that were men. But then everybody else in the back, else behind the scenes, were predominantly, I think if not all, were all men. The reason why this is important is because this time something different happened. We hired people and our manager hired Edgar. Now, I did think Edgar was super cute, and I was like, oh my god, like, who is this guy? And normally I never have guys that were my type because it's like, it's not a bar where guys I would hang out. It's like college bro, frat, dive, kind of thing, and I hate the bros, so I definitely wouldn't date any guy like that. So it was kind of different seeing this guy that was actually my type working there. He had dark hair, tan skin, you know, of course he was Spanish, and I was like, oh my god, like this guy, and he was really good looking. Anyway, we saw him. He was gonna be working as a server with us. I was also a server at that time, and we got along great right off the bat. He was super nice. I could tell that he was somebody that was more touchy-feely, and a lot of the other bartenders and servers caught on to that right away. There were some people that were like a little uncomfortable about it, but I was kind of like, why are you uncomfortable? Like, this is just, I mean, I guess some people don't like to be touched and stuff, but I don't really think he was doing anything extra. I thought that it was just a part of his culture because he wasn't from here. He was from another country in South America. I thought, like, you know, the kisses on the cheek, like the hugs, like calls everybody babe, love, honey, all that kind of stuff. I just felt he was like a very affectionate person and had to do with his culture, but some people didn't take it that way, I guess, and some people like looked too much into it. I really didn't, because I had met many people from many different Spanish cultures, and typically they're very loving, welcoming, amazing people, so I was kind of used to it. Anyway, we got along super great. We would be helping each other serve, helping each other work, and you know, as time went on, we kind of started to get to know each other, you know, on a deeper level of being like actually, you know, that level of coworkers then to friends. Basically, I asked him, I'm like, yo, Edgar, like, story, like, why are you here? You know, how long have you been here? Blah, blah, where are you from? The whole nine. So he tells me that he's from a country in South America. I don't want to say because I think it's gonna give it away, but he tells me he's from a country in South America, and he basically tells me that he's come here to give his daughter a better life. And I was like, oh, you have a daughter? He looked super young to me, so I was kind of shook that he had a daughter. At this time, I was 22 or about to be 22, 21, 22, and I think he was like a little bit older than me. Like, he was a little bit older than me. I think he was 26, but he didn't look 26. He looked super young and younger than 26. Then he tells me that he's here to make his daughter's life better, and I'm like, oh, like, of course I want the story. Like, I mean, you have a daughter. Where is she? What do you mean she needs a better life? What is her life there? Blah, blah, you know, like, I'm super nosy. I want to know all of everything that's going on. So he basically tells me, he tells me like he was having like the greatest time of his life. Like, basically he was dating this girl and he said that he really loved her and everything, and everything was great, and he was going to law school. And then he said, like, you know, as I was going to law school and everything was getting intense and I was finally about to graduate, the girl started to stop caring about herself, like her getting dressed up, going out, her like hygiene, and like she started to become like more lazy and everything like that. And this is what he was telling me, that basically she wasn't being the same girl that he met. And I don't know, it is a little bit harsh, but at the same time I kind of get it. Like on one hand, you're like, nobody wants to be dressed up on always 24/7. But at the same time, I understand, like, you don't want this person just letting themselves go, being lazy, unmotivated, not passionate, that kind of stuff. So I did get a little bit of, you know, both sides. I didn't really know how long they were together, but so he tells me he's with this girl going to law school. The girl starts to let herself go right as he's about to graduate, and then she gets pregnant. He said, like, in his culture, in this country, in South America, there is no, absolutely no abortions, whole kind of thing. It's a very conservative culture. Everyone's more religious there. And obviously it happens, but when it happens, you're like looked at some type of way. Like, it was like a lot of shame from his culture. So he was like, what? Like, so he's like, of course, when I got pregnant, I married her. And I was like, oh, like, you're married? Like, what? Where's your wife? Where's your kid? What is going on? Like, all this new information. So it's like, we're vibing, we're being friends this whole time. All of a sudden, oh, I have a baby. No. Oh, by the way, I have a wife. I'm like, oh, what? So then he tells me that, and I'm just kind of like, oh, you're married, like, skirt, pump the brakes. I was newly single at that time, so I was like, okay, so I guess this is a ship that has sailed. Me personally, men with kids, men with wives, men with anything like that, nope, that ship has sailed for me. I already don't want to have kids myself, so I don't want anyone else in my life having kids. Like, I'm just not about it. And like, it brings a whole bunch of more serious, more complicated issues and topics. And it's like, there's so many people in the city. Then when he says like, yeah, I got married, and I processed all that in my brain, all that just went on, processed it all in my brain. He was like, yeah, I got married, but honestly, I don't want to be with her. And I'm like, are you guys loyal to each other? He's like, I mean, she's over there and I'm over here. And I'm like, oh, she's still there? He's like, yeah, she's still there with my baby and she's taking care of her. And I was like, oh, damn, that sucks. Me, as a person that grew up in America, I would never be in that situation. I would not feel the same shame. I would not feel the same religious responsibilities. I was just like really relating for him and feeling bad for him. I'm like, damn, here's this young guy that had his whole life ahead of him. Right when he's graduating law school, all of a sudden this girl gets pregnant and his whole life is like, you know, thrown for a whirlwind. And he said he came here to make more money and all this kind of stuff. So, and he had to live here for a certain amount of time in order to bring her here, and his eventual goal was to bring them both here and everything like that. So I'm like, oh. So as the time goes on, you know, I have friend zoned him in the box, but he keeps telling me more about his life, and he just makes me feel worse and worse for him, like more and more bad, and tells me like, you know, this wedding is something I was forced into, this marriage is something I was forced into, like, I wish my life was different. Why did it have to be like this? And I was feeling so bad for him, and he's like, I don't know how it could ever work out. You know, I don't know what she's doing over there, and she doesn't know what I'm doing over here, and like all this kind of stuff. So more and more time goes on. Like I said, I'm feeling really bad for him and really believing everything that he's telling me. Like, he's really trapped in this loveless marriage just because the girl that he was dating got pregnant, who he was planning on breaking up with anyway. Now I'm feeling bad for him. He was already my friend, and I already was attracted to him. So we decided to start hanging out as friends. Like, we went to the movies together, we hung out a couple places together, and rumors started at my job. People started saying, oh my god, are you guys doing this? Are you guys doing that? Oh, like, Ashley really likes him, he really likes Ashley, blah, blah, blah. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't stop the rumors. I didn't say no. I didn't say like, no, like I'm not or whatever. I just didn't say anything. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And you know, but nothing was happening. We were just hanging out here and there. The more times that we hung out, we just vibed, we just connected. We had a lot of the same interests, and I thought he was really fun, he was really funny, he was really smooth too and very affectionate, like even as a friend, like hugging you and like arm on, like hand on your arm all the time. Like he's just like was such a cool person and made me feel at ease and comfortable every time I was around him. So yeah, I did start developing feelings for him. And so when, but I kept those feelings under wraps. Like I kept them undercover because I was like, oh, I'm not about to deal with this guy and his baby mama drama and like his wife and kid and all this kind of stuff. Like absolutely not. As we hung out more, he started to talk about them less and less, and it started to more just become about like us. And whenever he did mention like the wife or whatever, it was always something negative and something that he didn't like and didn't want to do. So it made me think of basically like a green card marriage, you know, like a lot of, I know people here that have gotten married just so that they can stay in the States. And I don't look down on that because it's hard to live in the States. So that's kind of how I looked at that. And I know that those people do not stay committed in their marriages. So what he was telling me was not something that was out of the norm. As the time went on, more and more time, at this point it had been a few months since we had known each other, since we had been hanging out, since we had been vibing. And he comes over to my apartment. At this time, I was still living with my ex, Jefe. His story is a traumatic, dramatic, whatever story, so that story will be coming in the future. But I was still living with my ex, Jefe, even though we were broken up, and I had him over. So we were just hanging out watching movies, and we were drinking Angry Orchard, and I was in my pajamas and he was making like little comments about my pajamas and like being all flirty, like, oh damn, that's like what you wear to sleep. And I'm like, yeah, like it is, like it's just shorts and everything. And I was like so embarrassed, like I was liking the flirt vibe. And then he like kissed me and I was like, oh my God, this dude just kissed me and he's married. What is my life right now? And I was like, oh my God. So it got a little bit awkward. I really did like the kiss. I did, but I felt internally conflicted. I felt like, oh my God, he has all this stuff that comes with him, and I always told myself I would never get involved with a person with all this baggage. But on the other hand, like he is a really amazing guy, and like all the stuff that he's going through is not his fault. Like this is what I kept telling my naive self. The stuff that he's going through is not his fault. Like he had to get married. The unplanned pregnancies happened all the time. Like, and so what's the big deal? Like if he doesn't like the girl, he's not committed to the girl's not committed to him, he's miserable. So, you know, I was rationalizing it pretty much all in my head. I'm not saying it was right, but I was definitely trying to rationalize it just because of the feelings that I had. It ended up coming to my house like a little bit later on, and we had talked about it, and again, like he kept saying like this is not something that he wanted to be in. He started telling me that he had feelings for me, that he really liked me, that he'd never met anyone like me, and that, you know, I was showing him the city and I was teaching him about New York, and that how like, you know, no matter what happens like with me and him, that he would never forget me and that I would always be a part of his life because I was a part of his New York experience, and introducing him to the city and showing him around, doing stuff with him. Like I guess I was like his first, you know, real friend here and everything. So it made me feel really special. Honestly, it really did. And it just added to the feelings. I kept just making rationalizations and excuses for it. And I wouldn't do the same thing now, obviously. It was a few years ago, I was younger. I just kept telling myself the same story that he was telling me. He's sad, he's miserable, he likes you, he doesn't like her, she's doing her own thing over there, blah, blah, blah. Like telling myself, you know, anything that I needed to know to keep moving forward. So then one day when we're at work, he finally lets me follow him on Instagram. So he tells me his Instagram. I'm like, okay, I follow him on Instagram, and I don't think anything of it. I was working, didn't look at any of the posts, anything, so just followed him on Instagram, kept it moving. So later when I got home, I went to his Instagram to see like, you know, what he had been posting, or, you know, what was his life like before. Like I was really interested in this guy. And when I saw his Instagram, It was loaded with pictures of his wife and his baby. Loaded. Absolutely top to bottom, loaded with pictures of his wife, his baby, his wife, his baby, his wife, his baby, blah, blah. Okay, listen, this is your family, you have pictures of them, cool. No, not cool, because when you go to all the captions, he's talking about what an amazing mother she is, how much he loves his daughter, how much he loves his wife, how everything he's doing is for them, and how she's holding him down, and all this stuff with hearts, love. I'm just like, Edgar! Bro, this is not the story you told me. Like, there's one thing to appreciate and have love for your baby mama. And of course, if these posts were just about his daughter, it wouldn't have been a whole different thing. But the fact that there was so much love and affectionate all over social media about his wife, and not just baby mama, his wife, this did not seem like a loveless marriage. This did not seem like she was on the other side doing her own thing. It very much seemed like a woman sacrificing and staying home in her country, raising a baby by herself, while this dude is supposed to be the breadwinner, holding her down, sending her money and everything, and getting them there. This seemed like a struggling family. So now I am like, am I the homewrecker? Am I the homewrecker? Am I the person that's about to destroy this family? And I see this little girl and I see his wife and she's so pretty, and I'm just like, absolutely not. I cannot do this. No, 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 no. I have to end this right now. And we never started dating. We were never official or anything like that. But we were hooking up and seeing each other all the time and flirting. And based off of that page, he was definitely cheating on her with me. And I had never cheated on anyone. And I never had helped anyone cheat on their significant other before. So this was a whole new experience for me. So I was like, okay, listen, Edgar, we need to talk. So he came over to my house and I let him know, like, I didn't tell him that I like stalked his page and that was the reason why I was ending it, because I really felt like he was such a smooth, good talker that he could talk me and have explanations for everything, you know, like, oh, it's just for appearances. My mom, everybody, our families, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm pretty sure he could have talked me out of it. So I didn't want to let him know the reason why. I basically was just like, you know, you're an amazing friend and I really like you and everything, but this is just like too much for me to handle, and I just am not comfortable like moving forward. I'm still so young, you know, so are you. You have so much going on. And, you know, I do too, and I'm seeing other people. At that time, I was not seeing anybody else. I was just talking to him. And I'm seeing other people, and, you know, I just made up a lot of excuses. And he was really devastated. He was really upset, and he was also very sweet about it though. He was very nice. He was like, you know, I'm never gonna forget you. Like, you're always gonna be a part of like New York, like with redheads, I'm always gonna think of you. You know, he told me all the smooth, very nice, beautiful things like that he had been telling me that whole time, which made me have feelings for him. So it was hard, like walking away from that. But I just knew in my heart, after seeing that Instagram page, that there was no way I could continue with him. Like, every time I closed my eyes, I would see his wife and his daughter. Like, I could not live with myself. I could not, like, it's one thing if it's a culture I don't understand, that I've never experienced, and you're in a situation that I could never understand or experience. So I'm making allowances for you and having empathy for you and making excuses. But really, like, that's not what it was. Like, on that side, based off social media, they looked so happy together. They looked like the perfect family. So I couldn't be that girl. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Like, did I handle it right? Did I handle it wrong? Should I have even gotten that far as to hook up with him? Should I have stopped it as soon as I knew he had a wife? I don't know. It was messy. I was messy. I was a little bit younger, and I've learned now. Like, I hope you enjoyed this story, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, because you never know when I'm gonna come at you with another story time. I hope you guys liked it. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, everything. Yeah, thank you. It's your girl, Ashley, and